Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we're going to be stepping into the world of footwear design, and let me tell you, it's going to be awesome.
It's not just about looking good, though of course that's part of it. We're talking about the creative minds behind the designs, the people who turn an idea into something you can actually, wear.
Exactly. So if you're listening and you've ever thought, man, I could design an amazing shoe, this deep dive is for you. We're going to be using RoleCatcher's awesome insights and AI tools to help you figure out not just what this career path looks like, but how to totally ROCK those interviews.
And it's a fascinating field. It's not just about artistic talent. The RoleCatcher Career Guide really makes it clear that you need serious business smarts, understanding those trends, how markets work, even having a feel for manufacturing. It's all connected.
Okay, so let's jump into that career guide overview right now. First of all, can we just say how cool is this? We're not just talking about keeping up with trends, we're talking about setting them. Imagine seeing something you designed on a runway.
And the job outlook, it's actually really positive, which is always encouraging. I mean, let's be real. People are always going to love cool shoes. That's not going away.
So true. But the guy also mentions it's competitive, right? So how do we make sure our listeners, how do they stand out, rise above the crowd?
That is where RoleCatcher's Career Stages section is so helpful, let me tell you. It lays out a roadmap of the jobs you'd likely have. So you start as a junior designer, then assistant, all the way up to senior level stuff. And knowing that helps you really focus your prep.
So you could walk into an interview and already sound like you get it, even at a higher level than what you're going for right now. That's smart.
Exactly. It's all about strategy. And that's where their AI tools come in. Think of it as having a personal coach, but in your pocket.
Yeah.
You can practice answering typical interview questions for footwear designers. And the AI, it actually analyzes what you say and gives you personalized tips.
Hold on, seriously. So it's not just generic advice, it's tailored to you and the specific role you want. That's next level.
100%. It's about giving you that edge. Speaking of which, ready to dive into some of those actual interview questions?
Hit me with them. I'm ready.
Okay, let's start with a classic. They always ask this. Can you tell us about your experience working with different materials? Now, you might think, easy, I'll just list everything I've touched. But it's got to be more than that. You have to show a deeper understanding.
Okay, so instead of just being leather, canvas, rubber, got to think about what those materials are like, how they work, how that plays into the design.
Exactly. Imagine you're making hiking boots. Tough, right? Versus a delicate evening shoe, totally different vibe. You could say leather's super durable, so it's perfect for those hiking boots, but it's also got that luxurious feel, so it elevates an evening shoe. See the difference?
Wow. Yeah, it's like you get the material, but also how it affects the whole shoe, not just the name.
And with RoleCatcher's AI feedback, you get even more specific pointers to make those answers sing. It's like having an actual expert, whispering in your ear, here's how to make it better.
That's huge. Okay, what's next on the interview hot seat?
Get ready for this. How do you approach designing for different target markets? This is where showing you can do market research, that's key.
Oh, right. Makes sense. Like a sneaker for an athlete versus a super stylish stiletto. Totally different worlds.
Totally. And think back to those career stages we talked about.
Yeah.
How would you change things up if you were designing for, say, someone who loves streetwear, like Gen Z style, versus someone older going for a more professional, sophisticated vibe?
Ooh, good point. You'd have to understand what each group needs, what they like, what their life is like. Athletes probably want performance, support, that kind of thing. But if someone's super into fashion, maybe it's more about a unique look, the brand.
You got it. It's about proving you can take your creativity and use it for different people, different business goals. It's understanding that design isn't just what you like. It's about solving problems for a specific customer.
Okay, this is already blowing my mind and we're just getting started. What other interview curveballs should we be ready for?
Let's talk about your design process itself. They often ask, can you describe your process for creating a new shoe design?
Oof, that's where I'd probably freeze. It feels so natural. Where do I even start to explain that?
Yeah, I get it. It can feel like that. But the thing is, hiring managers, they want to know you've got a system, not just waiting for inspiration to strike.
So it's more about showing them you have a process,
Yeah.
something you can repeat. I'd start sketching, sure, but then what? That's where I'd need help.
RoleCatcher's got your back. There's skills section. They list things like mood boards, prototyping. That's the good stuff. Those are your building blocks right there.
Okay, so I could be first I sketch out the basic shape, the silhouette. Then I make these mood boards, and those help me see the colors, the textures, even the whole vibe.
Exactly. And get specific. Mention if you use design software or if you like making actual mini versions, prototypes, to get a feel for how the shoe balances and all that.
So it's about painting a picture for them, proving I'm organized, efficient, not just staring out the window hoping for an idea.
You got it. Shows you're ready to work. Keep up with the pace of things. Okay, ready for another one that trips people up. How do you stay up to date on trends, all the new stuff in footwear?
Oh, man. See, I want to say Instagram, duh, but I'm guessing that's not going to cut it, right?
You're learning. Social media is fine, but to really stand out, you got to mention specific places you go, like actual publications. And guess what? RoleCatcher's got a whole external resources section for this.
They do. Like Footwear News, WGSN, I remember those were on there.
Boom. So instead of just Instagram, you say something like, I was reading this article in Footwear News about eco-friendly materials, and it really got me thinking. Or,
Yeah.
I saw this designer using crazy new tech on WGSN. Super inspiring.
So it shows I'm actually out there looking for knowledge, not just scrolling through my feed for fun. Makes sense. Hit me with another one.
All right, this is a classic. It comes up everywhere, not just design. Can you describe a time you overcame a design challenge?
Oh, yeah, the behavioral question, everyone's favorite.
They can be scary, but really it's just a chance to show you can handle problems, think on your feet.
So it's not about pretending I never mess up. It's about what I did after I messed up.
Right, exactly. Remember the STAR method. Situation, task, action, result. RoleCatcher's AI can even help you practice that whole structure.
Right. Here's what was going on, here's the problem, here's how I tackled it, and bam, here's the awesome outcome.
Nailed it. And again, be specific. Did you have to get creative finding materials? Did you have to work with someone else to crack the code?
This is where that AI feedback would be so clutch. Practice telling those stories. Get tips on how to make them even better.
For real. They can even tell if you sound nervous or if you're talking too fast. That's wild. Ready for another one?
Lay it on me.
Okay, think about this. Can you discuss your experience working with manufacturers? The people who actually make the shoes.
Uh-oh, that's where I'd start sweating a little. Especially if I haven't actually done that much yet.
Totally get it. But even without tons of experience, showing you understand that world, that's huge. Do some research on how shoes are made, even the basics. RoleCatcher probably has stuff on that too.
So even knowing how they make the molds or different ways to stitch things together, that helps.
100%. It shows you get that there's a whole process after the design. Talk about clear communication, setting deadlines that make sense, and designing something that can actually be made, within the limits of what factories can do.
So I could be even though I haven't worked in a factory myself, I know communication with suppliers is everything. It's about making sure my design can actually become a real product the right way. How's that?
Perfect. You just showed them you're thinking ahead, not just about the pretty picture, but how to make it happen in real life. And that brings us to our last big question for this deep dive.
All right, bring it on. Let's do this.
Last one. Can you describe your experience working in a team environment?
Teamwork. Yeah. Gotta have that in any job, really, but especially something creative like this, I bet.
You know it. Footwear design, it's a team effort all the way. You've got pattern makers, marketing people, other designers. Got to be able to play nice.
Right. It's not like you're just by yourself in a room sketching all day.
Nope. Takes a team to make a shoe happen. So when they ask this, think about a specific project, even something from schoolworks. Don't just say, oh, I'm good with people. Give them an example.
So more on this one project, my job was to find eco-friendly materials, while my teammate, they were building the design in 3D.
Now you're talking. And tell them what you bring to the table. Are you the organized one, keeping everyone on track, the ideas person? Maybe you're super technical and that's your strength.
It's all about showing, hey, I get that teamwork makes awesome shoes, and I've got what it takes to be valuable to that team, right?
100%. And honestly, these 7 questions, they're just the start. RoleCatcher has a whole library of them, all different kinds depending on what level you're going for, even what kind of footwear design you're into.
So for someone listening who's okay, I want to do this, what's the main thing they should take away from all this?
It's simple. You don't have to walk into those interviews blind. RoleCatcher, it's like having a secret weapon. They've got the info, the AI tools to help you get ready for tough questions, make your skills shine through, and honestly just stand out.
So it's like taking that love you already have for shoes, that excitement, and turning it into a real plan.
Exactly. Honestly, when you're genuinely hyped about something, about the shoes you want to make, that comes through. Interviewers can feel that.
I love that.
Hmm.
Okay, so as we're lacing up and heading out of this awesome deep dive into footwear design, what's one last thought you'd leave us with?
Close your eyes for a sec. Picture it. What's the shoe you're just dying to design? Got it. Good. Hold on to that. Let it fuel you as you get ready for this, and I swear there's no limit to what you can do.
That's the best advice. And for everyone listening, don't forget, free RoleCatcher accounts waiting for you. Go get that personalized feedback. Check out their resources. It's all there.
Seriously, it could change the game for you. Don't sleep on it.
This deep dive has been amazing. Big thanks to RoleCatcher for these incredible tools and for sharing all this knowledge. And to you listening, keep dreaming up those amazing designs, and we'll catch you next time on another deep dive into a cool career.